Welcome to the adventures of John Jonathan. He is a recently retired member of the Pentis Oculatus and now seeks to build an empire of his own. Thanks to the exceptional work of Skyrim modders, I am able to make this a reality. Starting a mining business to produce weapons for my army. Building a farm to feed my forces. Founding my own town as a place for my armies to stay and resupply. Building my own castle and becoming Jarl of the city around it to show my power. And finally, going to war with the Jarls of Skyrim to take my place as High King. Just before the video begins, please make sure to like the video and sub to the channel so you don't miss the rest of this series and other content I'm going to be making. I've been drinking and enjoying my time partying at the inn ever since the town was finished. I truly have accomplished much. I've proven myself as a hard worker, smart business owner, and a confident leader. However, there's still much to be done. I stood there one night thinking to myself, what was next? How could I possibly expand further and lay the foundations for an army? Then, I had an idea. I would build an entire city and become Jarl to get myself noticed by the most powerful in Skyrim. I spoke with the Jarl in Falkreath and discussed my plans to build a city. He didn't seem to be listening to me, until I showed him the bag of coin I was willing to give him. He then told me there was a large plot of land in the east he'd be willing to part with, so I agreed and was now on my way to construct a city. After a long walk, I arrived at the building site. It seemed the Jarl too was preparing to build here as well, as a small camp and a building hub were already there. I had a quick look around and made some plans. There was a nice lake and a waterfall that would make for a scenic view in the future. With that, I grabbed my axe and started chopping some wood. I'd need plenty of it if I was to construct an entire city after all. Next, I went to the tanning rack to make some leather. With these basic materials, I was able to expand the campsite to allow workers and guards to have a place to rest during construction. After that, I made a carpentry shop. This carpenter would be able to help me with the materials needed for building, as well as provide his expertise to aid in building itself. It was then that I got a shipment of food from my farm. With some food arriving, I decided to build a well for a basic water supply. The next priority was defense. I built some guard towers to provide an overlook of the entire area, as well as a wooden spike wall to prevent any possible invaders, with a gate between the towers allowing guards to check anyone visiting the city. I began running low on wood and didn't have enough spare time to cut it myself. To combat this, I used the last of the wood building a lumberjack's house, so we could continue to produce wood and possibly export it at a later date. I then took a trip back to the mine. It had been running extremely well and I had made massive amounts of profit after being away for so long. Using this gold, I employed some guards to defend my city and keep it free from any crime that could possibly occur. I spent the next day tilling the land and building a farmer's house. This meant the city was truly becoming self-sufficient. I was very proud of my work. A clay mine was next, as I was going to need tons upon tons of it to be able to finish this city. After that, I got some of my friends from Winstad Mine to come and help me excavate a mine here for the city to be able to produce even more building materials. I was then able to construct some barracks for my guards. They could now sleep in here, so they would no longer have to stay in the tents during the frozen nights. To complement this, I built a basic training area to begin training these guards into future soldiers. Just next to the training area, I had a smithy built. This would produce the arms my city's guards and citizens would need in order to defend from attacks. The city also needed some income, so I built a general goods store which a friendly Khajiit decided to buy. At the top of town, I built a temple of Mara for any religious people within our walls. I even prayed to Mara myself while I was there. On the lake I mentioned earlier, I built some walkways to provide a beautiful view and a nice spot to relax or even to go fishing. On this walkway, I decided it would be a great spot for a tavern. In here, we have a secure bar, some tables and seats for patrons, and upstairs, rooms to rent for any travellers who happen to pass through. Finally, the day had come. I built the exterior of my citadel, a marvel of stone, glass, and clay. On the inside, we have my throne room. where I'll be making all of the important decisions for my people. Through this door is a large dining hall with plenty of space for guests. Just across from it here, we have a library to sit down and enjoy a nice book. In here, we have statues to all of the divines, and a nice kitchen with all the equipment I could ever need. Just before the stairs here, we have a small hallway. At the end lies a children's bedroom, with plenty for them to do, should I ever choose to have any of my own. Back to the stairs now. In the basement is a large armory and display room, for me to keep all of the spoils of the coming war. Upstairs is where I have my study. It is equipped with all of the comforts of someone of my power now. It also connects to my bedroom. Here I have some paintings and also a warm bath in here should I ever need to clean. There is also a secret room even further up than that. It holds my personal alchemy and enchanting room. It is stocked with the most advanced potion making and enchanting equipment. Just to finish off the city, I made a house for a hunter to stay, along with some apiaries by the farm and an alchemy shop on the lake. This man also asked for a house, but it turns out he wanted it for chickens, but I'm not one to judge. So, I've done it. I reclaimed a mine from bandits and turned it into a successful business. I built up a farm from ruin and now provide food all over Skyrim. I helped the town in its time of need and enabled it to rebuild and thrive as the new owner of the land. And now, I've built a city and become an official Jarl of Skyrim. But it is not over yet. I still need to take the fight to the rest of Skyrim just as Tiber Septim did once across all of Tamriel. So, I founded my faction and named it the Jonathan Empire. My soldiers would be known as the Jonathans. I chose a banner to represent my empire, and the faction was founded. Next, I need to take out a bandit camp to station my first army. I took out the bandits that were held out in a mine near my city. I would use this as my first base of operations. After they were dead, I planted my flag at the entrance to claim the mine for myself. Now, I needed a steward, so I went to see an old friend, the merchant and manager of my mine. He happily agreed to be steward for my empire. He set up a treasury, and I deposited 1,000 gold into it. I then used this to sign a trade agreement with the Imperial Legion for food to be imported, so as to have stock for winter and my farm was less able to produce any crops. Now to recruit a second-in-command for my army, I chose none other than Agrok, the guard who advised me to build a wall at the mine. It was clear she understood battle, and orcs were some of the strongest warriors in Tamriel. For my first commander, I chose Raynar, a captain of the guard back in my city. He too was someone that clearly knew how to do battle and how to command troops. I then spoke with Agrok and recruited the first soldiers into my army. Conquest has begun. I sent these soldiers to hunt for food to further increase my stockpile. I then spoke with the Jarl of Falkreath again, this time to ask if I would be allowed to recruit people of his hold into my army. It took a bit of convincing, but after mentioning I was planning war with the Stormcloaks, he agreed. He believed any help against them was good help. Next, I invested some gold and materials into upgrading one of my troop types. This will provide them with better weapons and armour for battle. Taking one last trip to the mine, I asked Alsif to be the official blacksmith of my empire. She agreed and would be able to fit my soldiers with the new upgraded armour and weapons. And that's it for today, guys. John has officially begun his conquest and Skyrim will soon be his. Tune in next time to see Jon take the fight to the Stormcloaks and take over the holds in the east. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.